All right, so for this example, they give us an exponential function, and they tell us that x represents the number of hours. So that's the key for this problem. And then they want us to estimate how much bacteria will be in there after 3 hours. So we're going to take the number 3, and because our units match, hours and hours, we're going to plug that in for x. So we're going to say 4 times 2 raised to the third power. Now, the most common mistake is students say, well, 2 times 3 is 6, and then 4 times 6 is 24. That's not right. That's not how an exponent works. So this is actually 4 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 3 times. So for this 2 times 2 times 2, that's going to equal 8. So we had 8 times 4 is going to equal 32. Now, for this example, it says that the table shows the value of a computer as a function over time. Now, the value of the computer decreased exponentially. So remember, exponential means that you're multiplying by the same number every time. What is the average annual amount of decrease? So we're finding that average change, the average rate of change. For t equals 2 and t equals 4. Well, the key here is that I don't have a 2 and a 4 in my table. So I'm going to have to really recreate and think about what's happening here. So I have 1 in 800. I don't know what the 2 is. I know 3 is 200. I don't know 4. And then 5 we know is 50. Okay? So how did we get from these values? So when I'm looking at the values, I'm looking for patterns. So to 8 to 400. So I think, we're decreasing, so we're technically multiplying by some number between 0 and 1. So we're going to think about this in terms of division. So if I'm skipping a step here, so like if I take 800 and divide it by 2. So 800 divided by 2, okay, that's going to give me 400. Well, if I divide 400 by 2, that gives me 200. That's right. So then if I do this again, divided by 2, that's going to give me 100. And then if I divide 100 by 2, then that's going to give me 50. So we actually are dividing by 2 each time or multiplying by 1/2. But the great thing about this is I now have my 2 and my 4, so I can do my rate of change. So remember, rate of change is your change in y, which is y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1. So all I have to do is plug in my values. So my y's are going to be 100 minus 400. And then 4 minus 2. So that's going to give me negative 300 over 2, which is going to be negative 150. But the problem said give the positive answer. So the positive answer for this problem should have been 150. So you kind of had to work through that problem and analyze it and see what would happen.